Alright, we are rolling. I'm really trying to get better at uploading videos every day. And I'm not going to say I'm going to for sure do it every day, but I'm going to try my damnedest. I feel like when you promise people something like that, something always happens. So this is a one take. That's scary. That's scary because anything can happen, and I might say something like, it's a swear word. I almost said it, but I didn't. But just got done working out. Had a little shoulder session. Getting ready for Dallas Pro. I decided to jump back on stage. We haven't talked in a while like this, one-to-one. You know, I'll upload it right after this. I've been doing some videos that have been from the past, but uploading right now, day of, kind of makes me feel like it's a little bit more intimate. Like, kind of on a date. A man date, whatever you want to call it. But my plans are to compete. Oh, it's been tough. Been traveling all over the place, but it's been a different kind of prep because it's had to be a little bit more abrupt. So my body's kind of been in shock, which leads me to tonight's vlog, which is all about training hurt versus training injured. When should you press the gas pedal and when should you press the brake? When you should stop at the red light or just blow right through it. But tonight, and even this whole week, low carbs, trying to lean down so I can step on stage at a decent body fat level, and just get back into it because I feel like at the end of the day, I need to get on stage for me. It's not something I do for anyone else. Don't really care about right now I can't care about anything. Before I used to really put a lot of value on placing. Now I do it for fun, do it for myself. I wouldn't want to switch physiques with anyone else on that stage, I can assure you of that. So I'm making sure I'm preparing. But with that, I've had to drop my carbs pretty low, bump up my cardio a little bit. And some people start talking about like, well, okay, overtraining. Are you worried about that? My workouts, like tonight was a shoulder workout, high volume, everything was 14 to 18 reps. We did about 16 sets, about 15 sets for shoulder. So it was high volume. A lot of people be like, how do you do that? I get a lot of comments like, it's rough. I'm not gonna lie. There's times you feel sick. A couple things. You got to make sure your sleep is there. Muscles are broken down in the gym. Repair it in the kitchen. Repair it in the kitchen and grow while you sleep. So those three things you need to have down. You need to be breaking them down. You need to be working your butt off. I'm not the type of guy that just does pump sets when I'm getting ready for a show and tries to decrease rest time. No, I'm still training my normal way, rotating in a 3-week fashion where the first week I'm 8 to 10 reps. It's a Y3T stuff. Neil Hill, he's been great to work with and kind of making his thing, my thing, coming together. It's been seeing good results as far as strength goes while I'm dieting, while I'm low carbs. But again, you're going to feel like crap. And when are the days, how do you know if you're quote-unquote overtraining, if all the other things are there? You're drinking your water, at least a gallon a day come prep time. I'm not worried about salt because I'm getting a gallon of water, I'm flushing it out. Rest, it's tough on the road all the time. I, for one, need at least 7 hours of sleep. And I've noticed that if I stay up late at night, no matter if I, sleep until 9 o'clock, it's not good rest. It's not good sleep if I'm up really, really late, and I tend to get sick that way. And what I mean sick is I start just getting super achy, super feverish. But, and here's the but, I've learned to train smarter, but there's also that, people I feel like they find a cop-out for the gym. There's a difference between being hurt and being injured. Now let's talk about that. For example, hamstrings right now. My hamstrings, the last couple weeks, super, super tight. What I'm doing is I'm training them smarter. I'm not going to the gym on leg day. What I'm doing is I'm really slowing down, feeling the contraction. I'm not throwing around weights because I feel like they could snap at any minute. And I feel like, there may be a slight hamstring pull in my left hamstring. But I'm making sure I'm reading my body's signals. So your body's always sending you signals. That's why I don't love super amounts of caffeine. That's another thing. This week, I noticed that I started really feeling like my central nervous system was taking a beating. One thing I backed off was caffeine. I upped my glutamine, backed off my caffeine. The reason I do that, your central nervous system, you know, if you're used to maybe 100 milligrams of caffeine, which isn't a lot, which is about what I'm used to on that amino energy, and I bump it up and you take a fat burner, all that fat burner is going to do is going to speed up your heart. That's what a fat burner does. And really, at the end of the day, how beneficial is that? You know, that's questionable. I also have been taking more Platinum Pre, and that's because my calories haven't been as high, so I want to make sure I'm still getting really effective workouts. I don't love doing that, and in fact, I went back to my amino energy today because I start feeling like everything, my insides are just bouncing off each other. I'm starting to get paranoid, and I'm sweating, and it's just too much caffeine. You don't sleep well at night, then you're not recovering, then you're having crappy workouts in the gym, so you take more caffeine. It's a vicious cycle. So the best thing you can do, don't jump on too much stimulant. I made that mistake this week. But again, hurt versus injured. You can train hurt. Anyone can train when everything's perfect, whenever all the stars are aligned. And this goes for athletes too. Anyone can play when you're feeling great. It's that first week of practice. You're in football. You haven't been banged up. You're playing soccer. You don't have a broken nose. So it's when those things happen, like in soccer, you get a headbutt to the face and you get a broken nose, that you really have to dig down deep. And that's when the excuses are really easy. Anybody would, whether it's sports, whether it's the gym, would you start feeling like you're not your best. You might be only 90 or 80%. Now, what I tell people is when I draw the line, if working out that day is going to make me take steps back, I don't do it. That being said, if I feel like, I'm sick, I have a fever, and these are legitimate things, I have a fever, I'm going to go to the gym, I'm going to back off a little bit, I'm going to do what I can, but you do this long enough and you can read your body to the point where you start to feel your central nervous system in the gym really start attacking. So those days where I start feeling like, I'm not doing well here. My lifts aren't good. I'm not getting a pump. I get done with the workout, and I'm having a hard time sleeping at night because I have a fever. I'm having to take ibuprofen and things like that. I'm gonna back off, and I'm gonna back off a little bit of the cardio and back off the weights where I might, like yesterday, I left my hamstrings alone, didn't touch them, just did quads, got done. Could tell my body was not having it. Today, last night I went to bed at about 11. And that's been about 2 hours earlier than I have. Woke up today 7:30 feeling a lot better. So I did my normal routine today, and I'm still going to get to bed early tonight. So again, it's kind of a person-by-person thing. Ask yourself, if I train today, am I going to make it worse? If not, if it's one of those just you're sore, you haven't had a good day, you're a little depressed, get your ass in the gym. It's going to help out. But yeah, that's kind of my take on training injured versus training hurt. I'm about 2.5 weeks getting scared because I gotta get leaner. If you guys are in Dallas, come check it out. We'll have a good time. Anyhow, thanks for tuning in. Tomorrow we'll try to actually do a video. This was a one take. Peace out.